TV6 investigates the Westwood Mall. In March, the mall in Marquette Township lost power for nearly a week. Then again in June because the mall's owner didn't pay the electric bill on time.
I started looking into the mall's owner and found our mall situation is not unique, and the unpaid electric bills were just the beginning. We found a mall in Iowa with a similar situation, but power has been out there for 9 months. A problem business owners here in the UP don't want to see. On March 27th, businesses inside the Westwood Mall in Marquette Township told us the power was turned off inside the mall. A letter to business owners from the Marquette Board of Light and Power show it was because the account holder did not pay the electric bill on time. It took 6 days for the bill to be paid and for power to return.
Now we need the community to be just as excited that we've got the power back on, and we've got to offset a week of losses that we haven't been able to open.
Then again in June, the mall went dark, this time for nearly 2 days.
There's always an excuse, but it happens on the third Wednesday of every month. We know it's coming.
Scott Martin, owner of Martin Sports inside the Westwood Mall, says they've come to expect the BLP's notice. And each time the mall loses power, businesses inside need to close because exits are not illuminated and sprinklers are turned off. We contacted the Marquette BLP, but it cannot discuss client accounts. With the consistently missed bills, we wondered what else hadn't been paid and learned there are outstanding taxes owed on the property. According to the Marquette County Treasurer, there's $166,000 still owed for 2022 property taxes and $140,000 for 2023 property taxes. So who is responsible for these delinquent bills? Businesses inside the mall tell me it is not mall management.
The mall management here are tremendous. They are great. They've been over backwards to help us. And so I just want everybody to know they're not the problem. They're the ones keeping this mall alive. And if it wasn't for them, then this mall probably would be closed.
Rather, the owner, Mike Cohen of Cohen Retail Investment Group, is responsible for those bills. I called Mike Cohen. He says the late payments are just miscommunication.
There was some discrepancy, and also it was a miscommunication, so nothing to worry about, and it's not going to happen again.
Even though it has gone out twice?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the miscommunication that we had.
Cohen bought the Westwood Mall in 2019. At the time, Marquette Township was excited about the purchase.
We're hopeful that the new owner will reinvigorate the property.
Business owners say the mall falls short of those hopes. I emailed the Marquette Township manager, but he did not want to comment on the current state of the mall. But the Westwood Mall is not alone in this situation. In Iowa, Mike Cohen has owned the Marshalltown Mall since 2019. Marshall County Board of Supervisors Chairman Jarrett Heil says power went out at the Marshalltown Mall in November. Power was not restored and is still out today, 9 months later, meaning any businesses inside cannot open. When Cohen bought the Westwood Mall, it included the entire structure except for Kohl's. Since then, Dunham's and North Iron Church have bought their parcels from Cohen. So today, he only owns the green section. That's why when the power goes out, Kohl's, Dunham's, and North Iron Church can stay open. Mike Cohen owns Cohen Retail Investment Group based in Great Neck, New York. And according to his website, he owns 48 malls across the U.S.
We've looked up what a lot of his properties have happened, and this guy in New York that owns this place, some of the malls that he gets just sit there until they close.
We quickly learned there is a pattern with Mike Cohen's malls, documented in news stories from around the country. Several others have also lost power due to unpaid bills. Tomorrow on your TV6 Early News, you'll hear the rest of my phone call with Mike Cohen, including what he told me is next for the Westwood Mall.
TV6 investigates, continues to do so, power outages at the Westwood Mall and its owner, Mike Cohen. Power was out again for half of today. This was the third time the power was shut off since March.
We did talk to Mike Cohen last week about the outages. We brought you that video last night. Take a look. Our power has gone out here a couple times. We're just trying to figure out why.
There was some discrepancy, and also it was a miscommunication, so nothing to worry about, and it's not going to happen again.
Even though it has gone out twice?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the miscommunication that we had.
Now, your phone call with Cohen, that was 6 days ago.
6 days, Cody. Cohen's patterns of not paying utility bills and then electric being shut off applies to several of his malls across the country, and it's left business owners with more questions.
Why aren't the bills getting paid? Why do we keep having this problem? Why don't you sell to a local investor and let somebody take this off your hands?
Avery Smith is the owner of Timber Yetiacs inside the Westwood Mall. He, along with other business owners, say they just want reliable power so they can stay open. Smith is not alone in his frustration. Other malls owned by Cohen have asked the same questions after being let down. At the River Hills Mall in Mankato, Minnesota, our sister station, KEYC, reported Cohen promised concerts, car shows, and even animal events when he bought the mall.
We will do anything possible to do for the mall, because I know community cares so much about this mall.
But the station tells us there have been no car shows or concerts, just one circus. In Marshall County, Iowa, the Marshalltown Mall lost power in November and is still out today. While trying to find Cohen's motivations, I found someone looking to do the same. Salvatore Amadeo is the producer of the Expedition Log series on YouTube and a mall enthusiast. He tours malls across the U.S. looking into why they're dying, and he says Cohen malls caught his eye.
They stood out like a sore thumb, and I started to see a pattern of what he was doing, how he got involved in these malls, and his name started popping up more and more with the super dead ones.
Those patterns are ones we found too. First and foremost, the promises made that Cohen never delivered. But it goes beyond that. While Mike Cohen owns Cohen Retail Investment Group, each mall is licensed under its own LLC. For example, the Westwood Mall is licensed under Westwood Mall Realty Holding LLC, and the Sierra Vista Mall in Arizona is licensed under Sierra Vista Mall Realty Holding LLC, even though they're both owned by Cohen. So I went to his website, made a list of every mall he owns, and tried to find the state records for each one. Simple, right? Well, that's when we found he goes by several names, including Mike Cohen, spelled with an A, Mike Cohen, spelled with an E, and Miran Coanzia. There are other alias names, but some could be family members. On top of that, not every state record has his name on it. On some of them, he uses V Corp, and according to its website, V Corp can be used as a commercial registered agent and for document filing services. I found records for 51 malls. 7 are listed as not in good standing. The Michigan Limited Liability Company Act says if a limited liability company does not file all annual statements it has failed to file and the applicable fees within 60 days after the administrator's notice is sent, the limited liability company is not in good standing. But the business remains in existence and can continue to operate. And I found 11 records for malls that have been dissolved by a state because Cohen didn't pay fees on time.
Cohen tends to come in and he tends to purchase the property for pennies on the dollar, is what I've seen most of the time. And there are some striking examples of exactly that across the country.
I called Mike Cohen to try to find out what his plans are with the Westwood Mall here in the UP.
Hello.
He's told me he's been working with several developers.
I'm talking to some developers, so hopefully things gonna happen soon.
Okay, what kind of things can we expect?
I'm sorry?
What kind of things can we expect?
It depends on the developer that I'm talking to. I'm not at liberty to disclose anything until we get all straightened out.
So then do you plan on paying the back taxes owed for 2022 and 2023?
I'm working towards that as well, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
As you just heard, Mike Cohen hung up the phone before I could ask him any more questions. Tomorrow on your TV6 Early News, we're looking at potential outcomes for the Westwood Mall and what business owners inside are hoping for.
Tonight, we are wrapping up our investigation into the Westwood Mall and owner Mike Cohen. We brought you what we know about Mike Cohen and the state of some of his malls across the country.
As you heard last night, Mike Cohen says he's working with developers but couldn't tell me what that meant. Now we're looking to the future of the Westwood Mall using what we know about Cohen's other malls and patterns we've seen here in the UP. If you walk into the Westwood Mall today, you'll find 15 businesses, some national and some locally owned ones, all filled with people who live here in the UP and need your support.
I've had people walk in here that said they haven't been in this mall in 10, 15 years, and they thought it was dead, and they walk in and are surprised with how much life there is in the mall again.
But according to Marquette County Treasurer Jackie Solomon, Mike Cohen is delinquent on his property taxes at the Westwood Mall. As we showed you the last 2 nights, Cohen told me he's working on paying the taxes, then hung up before I could ask more questions.
Thank you. Bye.
If Cohen doesn't pay 2022's property taxes by March 31st, 2025, the mall could go into foreclosure. He also still owes property taxes for 2023. So if he pays the $166,000 owed for 2022's property taxes, but not 2023's, he has until 2026 to pay the $140,000 owed before going into foreclosure. These are only the taxes for the section of the mall he owns.
The property was previously combined with the North Iron Church and with the Dunham's property. And I believe that Dunham's and North Iron got together to pay the taxes so that their properties would not also be foreclosed.
If Cohen's section of the mall goes into foreclosure, Solomon says it will then go to public auction with a starting bid of what Cohen still owes in taxes. But he could choose to demolish the mall. According to Expedition Log producer Salvatore Amadeo, this would follow some of Cohen's patterns.
Virginia Center Commons bought out of foreclosure, demolished. The Richmond Town Square in Ohio bought out of foreclosure, demolished. Warren Mall, he bought it from the original developer, bought out of foreclosure, demolished. Stanton Mall, Virginia, demolished, bought out of foreclosure. The list goes on.
Or he could sell the mall. Business owners inside say they believe that's what's best for everyone.
We want to be a property that people are going to invest in and grow in. This is the only real shopping location left in the city. I'd like to save it.
Infrastructure fixed, that needs to be fixed. I mean, drive through the parking lot and see what it looks like outside. I think somebody that locally that owns it is going to take better care of the property, keep the bills paid, keep the electricity on, keep the gas paid.
But for now, the business owners say it's important we continue to support them.
There's a couple of corporate ones that, again, all local people working there. And I just want people to keep that in mind. Like, don't punish us because our property owner is kind of, shady.
Again, businesses say the issues facing the mall have nothing to do with management. It's a corporate problem. And mall management has been supportive of them from the beginning.
They're the heroes of the story, doing all they can to keep it going. And so I just want the community to know that.
We are still working to find what will happen to the Westwood Mall, and you will be the first to know as soon as we get that information. But until then, the business owners inside ask for your support, and they say as long as the power stays on, businesses and their employees can thrive.